What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I just got back from a quick midweek overnighter up in Bethel Ridge. It was a super cool spot, 6,000 feet of elevation. You can see Rimrock Lake from it, Mount Adams. You can see Mount Rainier from it as well. It was an awesome quick trip. So I got back from the trip, recorded this video, unloaded the tent, and then found out afterwards that that this video was corrupt. So I'm re-recording it, so there's gonna be some continuity issues in this video. Anyways, when I was out camping, I was thinking about the last time I made a bedrock setup, because things have changed a little bit on the truck, and I kind of wanted to cover the changes and if they're working for me in my application for off-roading and for overlanding now. So gonna do a quick recap on everything that I covered in the first video. We're gonna update you on where it sits now, and then cover anything that I may want to change or any issues that I'm having with it. So to recap, this isn't technically part of the bed rack setup, but I think it's a crucial part, is the Cali-Raised bed stiffeners. I mean, if you're putting weight up here, you have to have bed stiffeners. So worth mentioning that I have those, and I really love them. I've actually used them for the additional tie down points that they provide. It's been really nice for that. I have the CBI Overland bars, which have been so perfect. They put the tent at the exact height that I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be pretty much in line with the roof of the truck, and they are. They were kind of the lowest system that I could find. I know there's the frontline racks, I believe, front runner, whatever they're called. They get lower, which is cool, but there's no mounting points on it. So it would have been really difficult to keep the traction boards on the side of the bars, and then the shovel as well. So the CBI Overland bars are perfect. Low enough, but they still have mounting points for everything else. So then I have the traction boards. There's $80 traction boards off Amazon. I haven't had to use them as traction boards, but I've used them for leveling the truck, and clearly they work fine for that. And then I have a shovel on the other side. So that's pretty much what I had on the truck the last time I did a bed rack setup video. What's changed since then is when I made that video, I ended up getting a tent right after I made it, and I put that little insert in the video. But I set up the bed rack with the bars closer, and when you run a tent, those bars need to be at least 32 inches apart. So I had to kind of reconfigure how I was doing things. So these are now 34 inches apart, and they don't line up with the holes on the traction boards, and then the shovel is too short, so it wasn't going to be able to mount on there either. So what I ended up doing is taking this 36-inch aluminum bar, drilling 4 holes in it, 2 to mount them to the Overland bars, and then 2 to mount these carriage bolts for the traction boards, and then the quick fist for the shovel. And then I just connected them to the Overland bars, and they work perfectly to hold the traction boards and the shovel. So the setup really hasn't changed at all, because I did that kind of workaround, which is great because I like the way it's set up right now. And then I did add this fire extinguisher, which quite honestly, I am way too excited about that. Maybe not the fire extinguisher, but the mount. The mount is so cool to me, because it's just like, it's a quick disconnect. So there's this little tab you pull right there, and it just drops right out. And I mounted it to the outside of the truck because I didn't want it to end up being buried in the truck if we were gonna need it quickly. So that's always gonna be easily accessible. So yeah, that's why I mounted it there. This is really the only thing, aside from the tent, that I have to update you with the whole bed rack setup. And the tent I'm running, which obviously isn't on here now, it's a Tepui Kukanam Ruggedized 3. And I'll do a review on that because a couple of people have asked me already, but I'm not gonna do that yet because I want some more time with the tent. More time to like kind of get to know it and figure out the pros and cons of it and stuff like that before I actually, you know, start talking about it. But that's coming. So we went back over what was in the last bed rack setup. I updated you guys on how I kind of made this setup work with the requirements of the tent, and then my cool little fire extinguisher thing, which I'm too excited about. This setup has worked perfectly for me. When I go off-roading, I don't have the tent on here, so my boards are super easy to access. The shovel's really easy to access. Like I said, I haven't actually had to use these off-roading yet, but the shovel I've used quite a bit, and it's really nice to have it just right on the side of the truck, not bouncing around in the bed and making noise. I really like having everything mounted to the outside of the truck. It's perfect. I don't think there's anything I really want to add to it right now. I haven't identified a need for anything else other than what I'm currently running. So for off-roading, this is perfect for me. For overlanding, it's also been perfect. Like I said, I mount the tent up here. I can still put my traction boards on the side. I still have my shovel on the side. I still have easy access to the fire extinguisher should I need it. And then I have all this bed space as well that I can still use. I usually have a tub that I throw in there, a cooler, a couple chairs. I usually bring a ton of wood with me. All of this stuff fits there. All the bedding and everything fits in the truck. Without having to use too much cab space, because I hate a cluttered cab space when I'm road tripping. And this allows me, you know, more protection from the elements while we're driving, but I still have this completely available. Another really cool setup that I've seen is people run the Diamondback bed rack and then mount the tent on top of that. The issue I have with that is it seems like it would be really difficult to reach the things in the back, which for this I don't have that issue because I can access the very back of the truck through the side of the truck because it's still open there. And on the Diamondback, any tonneau cover, you can't really do that. However, if it rains, I'm at risk for getting all that stuff wet. So pros and cons to each setup, but this setup works best for me as of right now. I really, really like it. So the one issue that I'm having right now is when I'm running the tent and I mount the traction boards on there, the way they're mounted right now, they're pressing up against the tent, which means when I'm setting at camp, I have to take these off before I can unzip the tent and deploy it. It's not like I mounted those in a way where they're really quick to take off, which is nice, but it's still an additional step that I have to do before deploying the tent and after packing the tent up. So what I want to do is get like little U brackets, hopefully like 2 inches, to just, so right now the traction boards are mounted like this, just to pivot it off the tent a little bit, and hopefully that 2 inches is enough for me to be able to unzip the tent without having to take these off. I can't find the U brackets that I was thinking of or that would work, so I'm still trying to figure that out. And if you guys have any ideas of how I would do that, I would really, really appreciate some input. But that's kind of the only issue I have with the setup as of now. So I just posted my first camping video, and you guys so far have loved it. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it, a lot of engagement. It's been received really, really well from everyone, so I really, really appreciate that. That's super cool to see. I have another trip coming up this weekend, and it's going to be far more that would classify as an overland trip. So the first night we know exactly where we're going. The second night, no idea. We're just gonna explore the second day, and whenever we find a spot that looks cool, we'll set up camp, which is exactly what this was designed for. That's the spirit of the truck, is to just be able to explore. Whenever we're done, set up camp for the night and be able to relax. And so far this has been perfect for that. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope you guys are looking forward to the video, because it should be cool. I think you guys will dig it. So thanks again for all the feedback. My channel is growing pretty quickly right now, which I'm super excited about, and that's thanks to your guys' engagement and liking and commenting and all that stuff. I really appreciate all the support. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Next video, like I said, is me overlanding with my brother, so be sure to stick around for that, and I'll see you guys then.